last class I was just discussed about the very basic idea about switch mode power conversions. Okay, so that I was discussed in my last class. So basically, what was the motivation of that subjects? So if you see that if you see different applications, okay, like your household application or industrial application, especially for the power supply. Okay, so you can see that there are a lot of different types of power supplies we are using. Okay, so basic philosophy of this subject to understand what are the different types of topology, what are the different topologies of the switch mode power converter. So in my last class I was also discussed why it is called switch mode power converter. Okay, what was the difference between the linear power converter, what are the different switching pulses are there, means how they are interrelated to each other. Okay, that portion I was also discussed in my last class. So better all of you please, that I have shared one link, two link I have already shared. Okay, the last year my recorded all the recording of the last year, sorry, last year also I took the class in virtual mode. Okay, so I have shared my lectures of last year as well as my last day. Okay, both the lecture I have already shared. You can listen it, so you can also understand means what is the basic motivation of this subject. Okay, that I have already discussed. So I just only recap one portions. Okay, that what are the basic module we are going to be covered. Okay, so what is the motivation of this chapter, okay, and why it is important and how we are going to be implement everything I have discussed in my last class. Okay, so you please follow it. So if you are facing any kind of difficulties, any doubt, you can ask me, so I will discuss in my next class. Okay, there will be no problem on it. Okay, so basic thing is that what was the syllabus. Okay, that's why I am just taking some time for discussing these portions. Okay, basically these subjects, okay, consist of four modules. Okay, so six module. Okay, so six module means what we are actually giving focused on that switch mode power converter. And what type of switch mode power converter? Normally we are talking about different types of power supply. Okay, power supply means we are normally talking about different DC to DC converter. Okay, so DC to DC power supply. So again, that DC to DC converter having some vast area. Okay, so in this subjects we are normally focused on non-isolated type of DC to DC converter. Okay, and isolated type DC to DC converter will be discussed in your next semester. One subject is there, that power electronics, means advanced power electronics converter. So why all the things are there, everything I was discussed in my last class, means how all the subjects are segregated, what are the normally covered area of those subjects. Okay, switching converter is also sometimes mentions like an inverter, means that inverter switches also been working, sometimes switching converter, like that everything is working such a manner. Okay, so but the main thrust area of this subject, okay, are we are going to be model. Okay, we are going to be model the switching converter. What type of switching converter? Non-isolated DC to DC switching converter. Okay, that we are going to be discussed in this subject. What are the normal condiments? What are the different types of modeling? Okay, modeling means mathematical aspects. How do you define your switching converter? Okay, that will be discussed. After modeling, the we will discuss about different control structures. Okay, means different controller, means based on the mathematical modeling we are going to be design some controllers. Okay, so what are the normal control strategies for it? Okay, different types of controller. Okay, and which type of controller is important for it. So one by one, gradually we will discuss module wise. Okay, after that we will discuss the design factors. Okay, if we are going to design the practical switching converter, okay, then what you need to do, you have to discuss about what are the specifications. Okay, what are the normal specifications of the converter, how to calculate it. Okay, so like if you consider for a buck converter or boost converter, okay, so you know there are different components like L, C. Okay, that also to telling like the energy storing components. Okay, so how to design those energy storing components. Okay, so there are some specific formulas are there. Okay, so based on that formula, we are normally design that switching converters. Okay, as well as we have also discussed about the boundary regions. Okay, if we vary that amount of value, okay, the critical values, everything, if we are going to be vary, so how much duration it is working, means from continuous conduction mode to discontinuous conduction mode, and their boundary conditions. Okay, that is designed, that how would you select your energy storing elements. Okay, in the design point of view, if the design point of view means that energy storing elements you have designed, you have in some specification of voltage. Okay, voltage, current, switching specifications, all are there. Okay, for which operations which switch will be selected. Okay, if you are going to be design your converter in 500 kilowatt, so you cannot use the IGBT one. So okay, you have to use for the MOSFET application. Okay, so that portion also been covered. Okay, very simple way, but entire thing will be covered gradually. Okay, but there are actually, we are all are from the power electronics, specialization is power electronics and drives. So power electronics having different subjects. Okay, so some of the portion will be covered. Basically, it's in specialty, it's in specializations. Okay, so it's not like that only one subject. The total thing will be distributed in different subjects. Like I am telling about the boundary conditions, that subjects, that point will be discussed in your power converter devices, sorry, power electronics converters. On basic subject is there. Okay, then different types of the different types of semiconductor switches. In this subjects, I am discussing very basic structures of the power diode, power MOSFET. That portion I will just touch, but the entire constructions, everything, it should be discussed in other subjects. This subject is only designed for the modeling of the switching converter and how to design the controllers. Okay, and if you are designing the switching converters, okay, so what are the other specifications? Okay, like if you what type of code you have to select, there is an inductor. Okay, what type of code you are selected for it. Okay, that will be discussed in this chapter, means some magnetic design. After that, what happen, if you have some specification and you need to fabricate one of the switching converter, or the different switching or the topology of the converter, that will be discussed in the design example. Okay, that will be discussed in this subject. Okay, so these 6 modules we are going to be covered. Okay, gradually we are coming, first starting with different means introductory portions of the SMPC. After that, we will discuss the different example of the semiconductor devices or semiconductor switches and their basic idea on it. Then after that, main 2 problem will be started, means 2 segment will be started, modeling of your converters and the control basics, means controller designing. Okay, how do you design for that controller of your system, and the basics of the design magnetics. Okay, these subjects is specially informatics subjects. Okay, these subjects is normally important for when you are designing or when you are modeling of your switching converter. Okay, that time that subject will be important. So some numerical problems also be there. Most of the portion will be informative, and some of the numerical problem also be there. Based on that informations, mean based on that steps, you can design the numerical. If you face any of the numerical questions, so you have to solve the numerical problem based on the steps of your converters. Okay, means whatever steps you have in, so based on it you have to derive your problems. Okay, so it's a theoretical point of view, but some of the applications, numerical applications also be there. So directly from theory you can get those things, means you can directly derive all those things. Okay, simple thing. After that, then basic design of the magnetics. Okay, basically we are not directly use ferromagnetic. Okay, ferromagnetic material, sorry, ferromagnetic core for that switching converter. Okay, so we have to design some ferrite core. Okay, means high frequency, that all the switching converters are working more than 20 kilohertz. Okay, so normally our sound means we are our hearing range is 20 to 20 kilohertz. Okay, so you have to design that switching converter such a manner that is beyond your 20 kilohertz. Okay, otherwise you can heard that switching sound. Okay, some noise, switching noise will be coming. Okay, so that's why high frequency applications you have to implement, you have to use for that high frequency applications. Okay, so for that one the magnetic design is very important, which type of components you are using for it. Like normally we are using ferrite core. Okay, ferromagnetic, instead of ferromagnetic core you are using ferrite core. Ferrite is very simple thing, that ferromagnetic materials are there, you are making them in the dust format. Okay, after getting the dust, what we will do, we are giving some shape of those dust and make a core like that thing. So for high frequency application, these type of magnetic materials are very suitable for working. Okay, then you are giving some structure. Okay, you are giving the structures of your magnetic material, means all the magnets are there, ferromagnetic codes are there, you are giving the shape of that one. Okay, then finally we are discussing about some design examples. Okay, if you have some specification, so how do you design them, what are the normal means what are the means examples for it. Okay, then design specification, you will means you will get the design specification from the study. Okay, so based on the design specification you need to design your converter. Okay, if possible you can also fabricate it. Okay, that's the simple things, simple these six are the simple model that we are going to be discussed in this subject. Okay, so part wise will be coming. So then what are the essential reading? Okay, so the some books names are there. Okay, that I am already discussed in my last class. Okay, so three books normally we are following. That one is Ned Mohan book, that is very famous. Then Ericsson, Maximovich. Okay, so Maximovich. Another one is Philip Prime. These three books normally we are following for it. And Rashid book you can keep at reference. Okay, so in BTech class we done to Rashid, that Rashid book also very good. Okay, that should be in that chart in this list. Okay, Rashid you can also keep it another reference for it. And for supplementary reading, another other some different lots of books are there. Okay, I have mentioned only few books for the supplementary study. But essential reading means that four books are very important, including Rashid. Rashid name is not written here, but Rashid book also very good. You keep it with you. Okay. So Ned Mohan book, then Ericsson book, another one is Philip Prime books. So three books are very important, and the soft copy of these three books are already available in the internet. So any of you can download it and you can circulate with your friends. Any of you can download it. It is available. Okay, so it will be better to understand for it. Okay, and in this subjects there are some other points that I need to be discussed. Okay, so in the subjects you can see that we are using some slides. Okay, it's in virtual mode. Okay, so most of the portions will be discussed in through the slides. Okay, so slide is the very basic thing, means basic things means only the skeleton of the syllabus. Okay, slides are the only skeleton of the syllabus, but you are in post graduation level, so you have to give more concentrations on your self study. Means post graduation is not like that BTech study. Okay, what is the difference between UG and PG study? Okay, UG study means that you are studying, know all the components. Okay, all the components means all the subjects of electrical engineering in very well. Okay, means you have to prepare your foundations. Okay, for electrical engineering, most of you are from electrical engineering, so you have to create the foundations. Okay, there should not be any backlogs. Backlogs means theoretical backlogs, means that I don't know machine well. It should not be like that. Okay, I don't know power system well. Okay, I don't have any kind of idea in control system. Okay, it should not be like that. So you have to know the subjects very well. Okay, that is number one. That's the fundamental things or foundations of the electrical engineering. And what is the motivation of that post graduations? Post graduations means you have to choose some specialty, means specialization you have to pick. Okay, if you are why that specializations are needed, it's not like that I am doing the BTech, then my family members are motivating me to come to post graduations as we are getting the scholarship from after qualifying the gate. It should not be like that motivation. Okay, the motivation is like, it should be like that, that I am getting a scope for doing the post graduation to know in better aspects which specialization you are from. If you are from control automation, so you have to know the control theory in very well manner. Okay, means lot of you have to getting scope for explore yourself more. Okay, it should not be like that I am coming here and doing my job. Okay, means getting the scholarship and just pass get the pass marks, and my motivation is that PSU. Okay, PSU motivation is very good. Okay, but you know that current scenario of that entire thing is not so much simple. Okay, so you have to be all rounder. Okay, so if you are not having only if you are focused in PSU, then this is not the suitable path for post graduation. Then what happen if anybody having target on only the PSU, so they are wasting their time. Why they are wasting their time? I having some justification. Basically, I am believing I having some motivations for it. Means why we are doing for that, all kinds of justification should be with us. Okay, if I am preparing for PSU, so it's a very good options. Okay, so give your full trust on that PSU. Okay, means half-heartedly if you are doing, then what happen? Both side work will not be in good. Means you are not be properly preparing for PSU. Okay, as well as you are not doing the post graduations well manner. So that is not the right way. Okay, so what you want to do, if you want to do the post graduation, so you have to give more trust on the self study. That I am telling about three books. No? So if you gone through the all three books, so you having good idea. It's not like that only switch mode power converters. Switch mode power converter is only one topic. Okay, so other topics also be there. That three books are elements fulfill all the curriculums, most of the curriculums for other subjects also, means other power electronics related subjects, not the exact drives related subjects. So for the drives book, you need to follow some other author books. Okay, for power electronics related thing, this book also having drives chapter. Okay, all the books basically power electronics and drives are correlated. Okay, in case of machine drives, the main important thing is that machine, how to control the machine, but through power electronics converters. Okay, so drives portion means only the machine, means power electronics and interconnection of your machines. Okay, so that will be discussed in the drives. That's why very basic idea about that AC drives and DC drives also available in any of the power electronics book. There will be no problem, but they need to know about the more idea about the machines. Okay, so you have to follow some other books as well as some research papers. Okay, so in post graduation level, very basic things, some fundamentals portions will be available in that any of the basic book. If you go for that advanced level, okay, basically we are doing post graduations for what? The main motivation is that we want to build our career in R&D sector. Okay, R&D sector or in the teaching sector. Okay, through 2 points are there. Okay, R&D sector means after completions of the after completion of your PG means post graduation, so you can join any of the R&D companies. Okay, so that if you have such type of idea on means such type of means grip of your subjects. Okay, BTech as well as what is your post graduation domain. The power electronics is very growing area right now. Okay, so there is a renewables, everything's are there. Lot of scopes happen in the power electronics. So it's a very good topic, the power electronics and machine drives. Okay, so there is a good scope for getting job in R&D sector. That should be one idea. Another idea is that if you want to be in teaching, so you can go to the research field, means you can do the PhD. Okay, so if you are in the PhD means definitely you have to give more idea. So in those are doing the PhD, everything is not able to find out in the book, so they have to go to the research paper. So that tendency will come from your post graduation study. Those are interested for the higher studies. Okay, they have to go through some research paper. Okay, it's not like the BTech type of thing. Okay, means there is a huge difference between UG and PG. Okay, so that's why I am telling these kinds of thing. Basically, that's the important issue for your career. Okay, so sometimes what happen sometimes what happen, I saw my teaching career. Okay, so lot of the students is misleaded, okay, in different point of view, okay, so different idea, okay, they're having some idea but actually the thing is different, okay, so some points of view they are misleaded, so that's why it should be very clear from our mind, okay. So that's the point we need to be discussed, okay. So the basic things I have already discussed. Now the important issue is that how do we orient our syllabus, means how do I orient our class, okay. So in the exam, you know, you have to attend, you have to appear for 50 marks question, okay, at the time of MSEM. There are two type of exam in our every semester for each and every subjects. One is mid semester exam. Mid semester exam normally conducted for 30 marks, okay, and after that end semester exam, okay, that is normally conducted for 50 marks, okay. And so 50 plus 30 is 80 marks, and 20 marks is coming from her, it's in TA, okay. So whatever your performance, class performance, okay, regular interval assignment submissions, okay, and the class test, okay, based on it your TA marks will be calculated, okay. So that's the normal marks divisions will be there. So for the subjects you have to prepare two things. Number one is your one small classwork copy, or you can make one copy also, okay. So where I am giving some every day, I told you na that that slides, but I am telling you that's just a skeleton, okay. So every day you have to take the class note, okay. So date wise you have to mention the comments what I am going to study, so you can note it down in your copy, okay. So what are the circuit diagrams, figure, everything is important, so you will note it down to your classwork copy. And after completion of the class, so you have to go through from any of the, first you have to pick any of the standard book, like you are picking Ned Mohan book or Maxinovich book, that is very good, Maxinovich Ericsson book, okay. So our slide is totally based on that book of Ericsson, okay. So you can follow any of the book, okay. So then try to go through that point, okay. So what is exactly happened, okay. So whatever I am telling in the class, that's the very gist and brief about your, means I will cover everything, means I will cover the basic idea of your syllabus, okay. But if you want to more understand or more study, so you have to be more focused on your self study, and you have to follow that constant book for enriching your knowledge. At my time, means right now I am also going through reading out all the books, okay. So if any kinds of idea, new idea is coming to my mind, so that also be very good for me. So that's why you have to follow the instructions, sorry, that's why you have to follow all the books for getting ourselves more enriched, okay, more enriched knowledge, okay. That's the basic motivation for it, okay. So you have to start it with means every day whatever study that portions from any of the standard books, okay. You can follow Edmond book, you can follow also Ericsson books or Philip Klein book, whatever books you have, or you can also follow three books also, okay. If you are able to follow three books, then you will get more knowledge on it. Normally I have followed in my post graduation time I have followed four books, okay. No, sorry, three books. One is Nedmohan books, then Rashid books, and after my post graduation, two books I have followed. After my post graduation, means in my PhD time, I will follow four books. Nedmohan book, Rashid book is common. Then that Ericsson book and Philip Klein books, and another books is there, that is Anne, that is separate. So that's for the other studies, okay, and related to my, that also SNPC book, okay. So Anne book was there, another two three authors book is there, okay. That we are also following, okay, for getting the gather the more knowledge about our work, more knowledge about the modeling, okay. That's why, okay, how much you will invest your self study, so you will be benefited. So that I am telling you. So after getting the class note, you have to prepare a homework copy type thing, okay. Means whatever you are understanding from the class notes, and after going through your book, so you prepare a very good homework copy, okay. So it's your fair copy like thing, okay. Then with the regular interval after completion of one module, I will ask to submit, okay. I shall ask to submit you to your classwork copy or homework copy, okay. With regular interval I will check that what is your progress, means how you are doing in your home, or you are just only listening the class and anybody did nothing. Okay, so it's not like that. So that marks will be there. Some of the marks for your class for TA marks will be normally separated in several points. Okay, based on your classwork performance, means how you perform well, means are you attending the class regularly or not. I am taking the attendance, means meeting attendance as well as physical attendance. I will take it. Okay, I'll take it, means today is the last date of registration. Let's see. Okay, after that I will print out the attendance register. Then I will take regular attendance, means after completion of students admissions. Okay, total completion of the students admission. Then I will take the regular attendance. Okay, so who will attending my class. Okay, so that I can understand, as well as the meeting attendance also by default it is coming. Okay, so then assignment submissions. Okay, how regularly you are submitting the assignments. Okay, after that the class test. Okay, sometimes we are conducting the class test. Okay, so how is your performance in the class test. So based on different components are there, based on we are giving the TA marks. The 20 marks is very important. Okay, as well as mid-sem evaluations and end-sem evaluation also be there. Okay, these is that I am telling about the different marks distributions about these subjects. Okay, and what are the copies are required, that I am also being discussed. I think till now all of you able to understand what is the motivation of this subject, and I think I am able to discuss everything. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. So today I am telling about the introductory portions. Okay, just for a moment, I am just sharing the another slides. I think my slide is visible from your end.
Yes, sir.
So that is our switch mode. Just one moment. So it's an module 1, that is switch mode power conversions. Okay, so in my last class I discussed why it is called switch mode power conversion. Again I am telling it. Okay, so switch mode. Okay, so from the title you can understand that switched mode means that power converters are there. Okay, power converters are there, so they behaves like a switch. Okay, power conversions means what do you mean by the power conversion. So in my last class I told you, means normally we are considering the entire system where the energy is conserved. Okay, conservation of energy. Okay, in all the aspects it must be same, the conservation of the energy, means whatever energy you have provided, that similar type of energy should be received, okay, from your output end. Means in whatever energy in your input side, and the same type of energy should come to your output side. Basically energy is your integrating, means time integrating factor. Okay, so time integrating factor means power multiplication with the time is coming the energy. So if you think like that, both the cases, both sides the time is same, so you say like that input power equal to output power. Okay, that's a very simple thing. Okay, that's why the power conversion terminology is there. Okay, that's the motivations for telling the power conversions. Okay, so that's the basic thing. Okay, so conserving the energy, that maintaining the conservations of the energy, you are transferring the power from one end to another end. In simple point, input side to output side, or you say like that, line side to supply end. Okay, supply side or load side, line side to load side, or load side to line side, vice versa. Whatever thing, whatever processes are there, based on it you are doing such a way. Okay, that's the basic idea for the conservations of power, or or for the processing of the power. Okay, so who is responsible for processing of this power? So normally we are using different types of converters. In my last class I discussed about what is the difference between conventional means initially, that before modern physics, when you were in class 2 level, I think all of you heard about the modern physics. Okay, that gone through the chapters modern physics. So before that we are using some valve. Okay, valve based diode, valve based triode. Okay, different, we are using some valve. Okay, for rectifying that operations. After that the semiconductor physics has came. Okay, then automatically that valves are replaced by that semiconductor devices. So why we are replacing them? Basically that energy conservation of the energy, I'm telling, there is a huge power loss or a huge energy loss. Okay, So that's why if you convert to the semiconductor device, so huge amount of energy will be saved. Okay, that will be saved. Huge number of energy means huge portion of energy has been saved. Okay, that's the motivations. Okay, so whatever we are doing, we have to find out the justification for it. Okay, so without having justifications, we should not do anything. Means our logical mind should be very strong. Why we are doing it? Okay, if I am any person, I'm telling you that you please do this point, then definitely you should ask yourself first that anybody asks me, okay, anybody asks me, or no, you do that thing, then I ask first myself, Acha, what may be the justifications for doing this one? Is there any point to work on it? Okay, so first I need to give the justification to me. Okay, if I am convinced with the justifications, means if my logical mind is convinced with the justifications, then okay, there will be no problem. Okay, if you are not convinced, okay, if my logical mind is not saying that you are not doing the right thing, okay, whatever I am doing some mathematical steps, okay, so is the step correct? That to myself. Okay, if the step is not correct, then why it is not correct? Why we have to how would I rectify the steps? That should be the justifications. Okay, the power conservation is there. So what is the justifications for replacing those valve type of switches to the semiconductor? Basically the power loss. Okay, then again the semiconductor devices are there. In my last class, I discussed difference between the analog electronics and the power electronics. That I have also been discussed. Basically, in analog electronics, basically the power level. Okay, normally if you see that regulator, we are using some voltage regulator like 15 volt generation, 12 volt generation, different IC we are using. Okay, 7815, 7915, 7915 for minus 15 volt regulator, 7815 is positive 15 volt regulator, 7812 is the 12 volt regulator, positive 12 volt regulator, 7912 is the negative 12 volt regulator. Again similarly 7805 also be there for positive 5 volt regulator, 7905 also minus 5 volt regulator. So these all are the regulators for analog electronics devices. We are designing for it for the power supply. So power conversion means how sophistically you can convert the or the means sending the power from input side to output side. Okay, so through which type of devices? That semiconductor devices. Now that semiconductor devices may be working in different modes, maybe working in the linear mode, it may be working in the switching mode also. Okay, what do we mean by the switching mode? If you, I think all of you having knowledge about the piano switch, means in our domestic, means in our home we are using some piano switches. Piano switches means that just turning on the switch, the fan is turned on or light is turned on. When turning off the switch, directly fan is turned off, the light is turned off. So it's look like the piano keys. Those switches are look like a piano keys. That's why it is called piano switches. Okay. The regular intervals, the turning on and turning off. What is the if you use those type of principle, means all the semiconductor devices, if you use just like a switching devices, then what will be the benefit? Okay, when switch is on, then what happened? The total current will be flowing through that switch. So current is maximum, and means switch is short circuited condition. So voltage is zero. So what will be your power? Power equal to voltage into current. Okay, so power is zero. Switch on condition, power is zero. If the switch off condition, the power is again zero. Switch off condition means you will get the maximum voltage, means total voltage appear across your switch, and zero current. Basically it's an open circuit, switch off conditions. Okay, so current is zero, so power is V into I, again it's in zero. Okay, that's the motivation for switch mode power conversion, operation of the switch mode operations of the power electronics devices. What type of devices? There are different types of devices: control devices, uncontrolled devices, semi-controlled devices. Okay, so as per the devices, you will say like that diode is a basic example of a uncontrolled devices, and those having gate pulse, those having gate terminals, okay, or base terminal, okay, so they are all the control devices. Again, the control device, it may be segregated by voltage control device or the current control devices. So it's about the device physics. Okay, so then voltage control device means again it's in coming the FET. FETs are the means field effective transistors. Okay, like MOSFETs. Okay, these all are the examples for the voltage control devices, and BJTs is all are the examples of the current control devices. Okay, so which one will be suitable for working, that all are the very basic knowledge about the analog electronics. Okay, similar type of knowledge also be there, but the doping of the analog devices and the power devices are different. Okay, so that's the basic difference between the analog devices and power electronics devices. In my last class I elaborately discussed this one, so you please, those are not attended my not able to attend my last class, they can listen that audio clip so they can understand. Okay, so I discussed another thing, soft switching techniques, hard switching techniques, so that portion I have also been discussed. Okay, that's the motivations for study this chapter. So in this chapter we will discuss about the very basic principles. Okay, very basic principle of switch mode power conversions. Okay, so in the introduction that I am telling about the introduction of the power processing. Okay, introduction of the power processing, some applications of the power electronics, elements of the power electronics, that portions were covered. So introduction of the power processing means, so that we are telling about the power processing, processings are there. Okay, so what are the importance for power processing? Okay, so that will be discussed. What are the tentative topologies for the power processing? Okay, what are the switches are there for the power processing? That will be discussed. Some applications means what we are doing for this study. Basically, all the, if you see that the most of the applications are based on this power supply, like medium power supply, high power supply. If you are see in your domestic inverter, okay, it having how much rating it is. If you see that it is 12-volt battery, and normally it is giving if you are using 150 ampere 150 ampere hour battery, so how much it is coming, 150 into 12, so it is coming 1800 volt ampere hour. It's an energy, volt ampere hour. Volt ampere is the unit of power, and hour is coming, it's an energy. Okay, so that's volt ampere hour. If you see the volt ampere mode, only 1800 volt ampere means 1.8. Okay, sorry 1800 VA, you say like that, simple movement. Okay, simple. Okay, so that application oriented, it's an you have to design that converter, that amount of power rating. Okay, so how is for changing of the power rating, is there any changes of the topology, is there changes of the switching, or what kinds of changes are needed, that will be discussed. Then elements of the power electronics, what are the most important factors for this one. Okay, that also been discussed in this chapter. So elaborately I will start this chapter in my next class. Okay, so today I am just giving some very basic idea about, means some of the recap portion of my last class, and very basic idea about the switch mode power conversion. So gradually we will accelerate the circuits. Okay, if you have any kinds of doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so there is no problem, and please be attentive in my class, and the subject is very interesting. It's not so complicated, simple, interesting, and it having some impact. Okay, that's why I am telling. Okay, and regularly you please maintain all those things that I am telling you, your classwork copy, homework copy, whatever copy you are preparing, so please up to date. Okay, and with regular interval I am asking for it. Okay, to submit the document, and fix up one seer of this class. Okay, who will that, to whom I am directly connecting those person. Okay, please fix up the seer name. Okay, so in my next class I will discuss the that means I will just enter in the next portion of that